I lost control of my bodily functions.
Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're going on a trip down the Illinois, and flashbacks of me drowning are already flooding my memory. See what I did there? And after the break, Yelp is on the way. Yelp is on the way. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley.
We have...
What?
We've got some things to unpack.
Dude, I don't know that we have time in a single show
To unpack
cover
everything that needs to be...
all of our Illinois River mishaps, misadventures.
I thought we were gonna touch on. We're not gonna touch on your polar plunge.
We can. It was cold.
You sound so
feel
scared.
Recharged and ready for next year's polar plunge.
Like you're already ready for next year.
I'm already counting it down.
The anticipation.
Like, oh shit, there's only 363 days left.
What if they do another one? Like, what if they schedule one in the middle, like they do Affair of the Heart, where it's 2 times a year? Oh,
yeah.
You'll be fine.
It was cold. And
well,
next
but
year,
you
you were definitely
I'm doing it, man.
You're not getting out of it.
I wanted to be there.
No, you did not.
I did kind of want to be there, man. I was there with you in spirit.
Oh no, you
did
weren't.
you have a force vision but I'm instead of it being Obi-Wan, it's me standing on the water?
No, I had like a total blackout.
Did you really?
Dude, it was cold.
Yeah.
Instantaneously, my body was trying to jump out and swim off to the side at the same time.
At the same time, it's trying to sink to the bottom.
Right. Yeah.
Did you touch bottom? Or were you in the spot?
I don't think so.
No? Oh, God. I can't imagine hitting that water and not being able to put a foot down. I would have been dead.
No, I picked a deep spot.
Well, look at you go. Were you the first one in?
Definitely not.
Well, what happened?
I was literally waiting for the procession to come down.
Yeah.
And then they were, trying to organize it all. And there's probably 200 people standing on that rock.
Was it better organization this time? The time we went, there was just a little bit of a communication error.
I think it's
improving.
No, I think it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to. It's like herding cats.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And then when they jump in the water, it's like baptizing them because they're everywhere.
Exactly.
And everybody's trying to get out of the water. But we have had a lot of fun adventures involving water. Have you noticed that a lot of our cleansing spiritual quests have involved water?
Yes.
One of which will go down in history. And I don't know why we're even doing it. I feel like you're intentionally coming after me with a show about the Illinois River, like you're challenged me to a rematch against the Old Man River.
No, I'm not. But I will say the reason I chose the topic of the Illinois River at this particular juncture is because float season starts soon.
It's getting there. It'll be here.
It's about a month away.
But I know you're saying that. It's not like this show is going to come out any sooner than the fact that it's supposed to snow again soon.
So the reason I even thought of it is because of the whole Madison Park thing.
Yeah.
If you remember, our first trip down the Illinois was on opening day of...
It was.
Yes.
Now, it needs to be noted that this podcast doesn't exist if we were a statistic on opening day.
Oh, yeah.
2 unknowns die. At least if we die next time, they can say the hosts of the OnlyinOKShow perished in a tump over
in a horrible podcasting accident
20 feet from the bank.
But the reason I remembered it is because if you remember the first time that we went down the Illinois, you dropped your glasses.
Oh, man.
And it was 12, 14 foot down.
And cold.
And I had to dive down there because you couldn't see where they were.
That's the okay. I have to say this. The hardest thing to find without your glasses on is your glasses. There is a cruel irony to that. And look at these.
Oh,
imagine if these drop. No. If these dropped in the water.
That's horrible. Yeah, they're
done.
Yeah.
Hell, these are done when they're lost on the freaking nightstand, man.
But I remember having to dive down multiple times searching for your glasses, and that water was as cold.
Frigid.
Was as cold as Medicine Park.
How deep do you think that water was? 5 foot? 4 foot?
The Illinois?
Yeah.
It varies from,
because where I was standing, I was able to stand, but I remember going down at least once to get to try to track down my glasses, and it was frigid.
No, and it was
I'm not
probably
giving up to
12
you.
or 14 foot deep.
I'll give it up to you. Yeah.
Where you dropped them at.
And not long after I dropped my glasses, I nearly drowned because I just don't even want. Can we just talk about the good times? Are there?
Sure, we can move on.
Okay.
For those that don't know, have never had a trip down the Illinois, the Illinois is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, man.
It's nestled right in the middle of the Ozark Hills.
Yep.
The upper Illinois River is kind of easy flowing.
Yeah.
It's a class 2 river.
Mm-hmm.
Rock bottom the whole way, so you can see, and the water's crystal clear.
Crystal clear.
Between that and the scenery, it's a great float.
When you go down and you look, because I like to look and see. I always like to. Okay, first and foremost, I'm not a big fan of water. I'm a bigger fan of water if I can see the bottom.
Right.
Unfortunately, I was like, is that a diamond? No, it's a Coors can. So occasionally you can see beer cans at the bottom. But the thing about it is, as far as like geographically, you see all kinds of stuff it's just a different view. It's a different view from the bank to the water.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking forests,
rock walls. I mean,
yeah,
it's just crazy.
But again, the water's crystal clear. Mm-hmm. It kind of changes speed just based on the width of the river at that given time.
Yep.
So you kind of have some lazy time where you just kind of chilling and laughing and joking, and then you've got the kind of the
little white water moments.
Right, the little clinchers where you got to go down, like 2 foot drop.
God, I can't. Dude, I had a great time. But after I dropped my glasses, I didn't wear them again much. So I didn't get to see, got a drop-off coming, so I didn't see it until it happened.
You did that on purpose, though, because you were terrified.
Okay, I didn't want to see.
As far as the river technical requirements, my kids have done it, like, when they were little, but you see, like, the serious people out there doing it, too.
Yeah.
And they'll do, typically, I'll see some people doing the same spot over and over, so there's, like, a series of drop-offs or whatever.
Now, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
The first time we did it, this is the first time I'd ever been in a canoe.
Right.
There's a learning curve to canoes.
Can we talk about the canoe?
Yes.
Okay, so we're the very first time Brett has ever been in a canoe. We get loaded up. It's kind of later in the afternoon. We get into
it's dusk, man. Go ahead.
It was pretty late. We still had a couple hours.
Okay.
So we get everything loaded into the canoes. We're going to go halfway down in camp was the plan.
Yeah.
We get in the water. We made it 40 foot down the Illinois before Brett freaked out because we hit a stick and flipped us over in the canoe.
Yeah.
And we got out with all of our gear soaking wet on the wrong side of the river. And we ended up setting camp literally 100 yards from where we came into the water.
And right or wrong, it was probably one of the worst. I don't want to know what was going on outside the tent that night. But the wind was pulling the tent up. I mean, it was brutal.
Yeah, we had a pretty intense windstorm, and we were kind of out in the open.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried to stake a tent down on rocky, sandy soil. There's not much grip to that. Yeah. So we had rocks on. We were each sleeping on a corner on the inside, had a rock on the stakes on the. I mean, it was. And we just got there, and it was already Adventure Island.
It was a blast, though.
It was a blast. It was an absolute blast.
I look back at that really trip as being one of my favorites, and it was literally a comedy of errors.
But you signed us up for the 20-mile, didn't you?
It was the longest version that they had, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for my maiden voyage, I mean, it broke me in. That's for sure. But
but you had plenty of time to learn and get used to things, and you didn't. So
and then it just as quickly as we started, it was over.
So there are a bunch of float trip outfitters in the area. Put some links in the show notes. You can rent canoes, kayaks, rafts. Plus, they'll shuttle you up and down the river, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
If you can park at the bottom and have somebody take you up to the top, you don't have to worry about your vehicle. It's in a secure place.
Yep.
You don't have to drive back and forth. You don't have to take two vehicles with you. I think it's well worth it, and most of them don't charge anything if you rent from them. There's no charge for the shuttle.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
They drop you at the bottom of the hill. You get in the water. There's no turning. There really is no turning back. What's the halfway point? 6 miles?
Yeah.
Not even a halfway point. The third of the way? 6 miles? I mean, it's no retreat, no surrender, brother.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of help out there either. There's no cell phone signals. No. There's no places to stop. You're committed. You've got to be committed to do it.
Yeah, not even if you're in a canoe with your phone in the air.
But again, they have a really short one. It's 3 miles, takes maybe, I don't know, an hour and a half.
But see, I think to myself, we did the 20. Man, I'd never do that again. I don't think, thinking about it, 3's not enough, man.
No, I would probably do the 20 again.
Yeah. We may have to. That might have to be on the list of us being on the comeback trail. Brett reconquers the Illinois River.
Right. Back to the outfitters. Yes. They also offer camping, their cabins, motels.
Oh yeah.
Swimming pools, volleyball courts, anything you could think of.
Yeah.
Just depending on what you're looking for. The ones that we've used in the past, they've all been really nice, really well put
clean,
together, clean, fun. Like, I loved everybody that was there. They're all fun people.
There's a stigma about the Illinois River because I think a lot of people go out there, Memorial Weekend, Labor Day weekend.
You do want to stay away from, my personal opinion.
Yeah.
If you have young kids and you want this to be a family fun event, you definitely want to stay away from the 3-day traditional 3-day party weekend.
The float in the river crowd.
Right.
But I also think you can have fun floating the river, but I really think when the rubber meets the road, it's either a kayak or a canoe. I think is the best way to experience it.
I like the rafts with the kids.
Yeah.
But I think it feels more authentic in a canoe.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't feel like, I feel like if I'm not risking my life a little bit, I'm not really getting my money's worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like over here trying to figure out how to accidentally drown myself on a raft. It's like, 10 by 10. I'm like, dang it, this isn't any fun. But no, it's a blast. It really is. We talked about the views for a little bit. I think that was the first time I'd ever seen a bald eagle.
In person.
Yeah. In person. And there's something, it's kind of corny. There's something majestic about it.
Was it a bald eagle? I thought it was a harpy eagle or something. It was huge.
Was it huge? It could have been a harpy. A harpy? Those are mythical beasts. Those will pick your ass up and drag you off.
I don't think it was a bald eagle. It was one of those big perching like behemoths. I don't know what it was.
Like you're the food source kind of situation. Yeah.
I don't know. But there's all sorts of wildlife out there. You'll see, rabbits and deer and birds of every flavor. And according to Brett, they're fish the size of Volkswagens.
Okay, I didn't have my glasses on. I also understand how water works when it's clear. It magnifies things, except for glasses. The fish were as big as the kayak.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
God, dude.
Man.
I swear, you were putting off serious Jaws vibes on the Illinois River.
I was.
Like, we're going to need a bigger boat. I was like, dude, that fish is like 8 inches long.
2 people in the canoe. 1 died. That would have been me.
Yeah. No. For starters, I don't think there's anything remotely...
an alligator gar. They get big.
I don't think there are any alligator gars in Illinois.
Mm-hmm. Well, we might have to research that and revisit. But these whatever they were big. I'm not saying it was a damn barracuda. I'm saying it was whatever it was big. Could have been a carp.
Well, I will tell you that the Illinois is considered an excellent fishing destination some of the fish that you might expect to catch in the Illinois, smallmouth, largemouth bass, maybe some channel or flathead catfish, sunfish, and maybe if you're in the right spot, there's some trout fishing
in
to
certain
happen.
spots, yeah.
But I don't think that you're going to run across a whole lot of, great white sharks or piranha or barracuda.
If you're asking me, there's a chance. I felt like I'm serious. I felt like my life was in peril. So I survived.
But if you're a fisherman, there's a whole lot of places to fish, a lot of access throughout the entire river. There's a whole lot of access.
Well, and that's the deal too. A lot of the, there are a couple of wildscapes where they don't mow it down or trim it down. But for the most part, if you're fishing off the bank, like you said, plenty of access to do that. We saw a couple of people on kayaks, even kind of fishing some of the more calm areas. Mm-hmm. There's it's an outdoorsman's paradise. Pick your poison arrow. They got them all, honestly.
I will make a recommendation. If you're going to go on a trip down the Illinois, that you bring more water than beer.
Yeah, we made a mistake. We brought lots of beer and
I think we did the math wrong, or somebody thought they were going to drink river water.
You brought a little water filtration system, didn't you?
I always have a little water filtration system.
Right. Yeah. Well, we had, I don't know why, and we're not even a bunch of beer drinkers. I don't know what we were doing. Like, let's just get some beer, man. That's what you do at the river.
I think we were drinking beer with breakfast.
We were. Yeah.
I really think.
What was our breakfast? It was like freaking hot dogs wrapped in tortillas or something. I never go hungry with you.
I'm telling you.
Only until recently. If I started going hungry.
I'll start taking some wild crafting classes so that I can figure out what vegetation you can eat in the woods.
He's about to pass out. Get him a bushel of berries. Where are the berries at? Follow Harley. He knows. Oh, boy.
Pride myself in being able to make food.
You're a forager.
In the woods that's easy to transport. Most people, they try to overdo it. Yeah. If you're backpacking, hiking, things like that, you've got to make it portable and easy to carry and easy to keep at the right temperatures.
Okay, then give me your top 100 berries to pick in the wild. I bet you can't do that.
No, I can't. I told you I probably need to take a wild crafting class.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll give you your top 100 restaurants if you're not a forager like Harley. Coming up next.
I will say, on my recent trip to Medicine Park...
Your more recent trip?
There were a lot of people that were teamed up for the jump.
Like Team Roberts or
like
Robot?
Team Froze Buns and stuff like that. And you could tell they were on a team because they were wearing
the same shirt.
Yes, they were.
Did you sport your shirt this weekend?
I did wear my shirt this weekend.
Good job.
Yes, I did.
Good boy. But where'd you get that t-shirt at, bud?
My shirt came from Ronnie Davenport, firefighter and screen printer,
and
over at Tailboard Apparel.
He's also I think he's a black belt in Taekwondo.
So am I.
His prices kick ass. Because he's an expert in everything he does. Like the dude, he's a photographer. He does it all.
Right. And if you don't have your own logo and you need some help with that, he'll help with that as well.
Absolutely.
He will help with that as well. He will.
Good old Ronnie Davenport. He'll help you with that as well. God bless. Yes, he will.
So give him a call for a free quote, 405-517-2174, or find him on the web. Brett, what's that website?
Tailboardprinting.wrong.
It's tailboardapparel.com.
Gotcha. Back in the good old days, back when we were just starting up, before we moved into this high-rise apartment building.
According to our intro, we are transmitting from an unknown location somewhere in the Panhandle in an Airstream.
Well, let's let the cat out of the bag. Since we started this show, we've moved up. Not really, but anyway, we used to read Yelp reviews. Do you remember that? That used to be something we did?
Yes, I do remember that.
So we're quite familiar with how important these Yelp reviews can make or break you.
I agree with that. I don't agree that it should,
but
I do agree that Yelp can make or break
Everybody is a critic.
Yes.
But here's the thing. We're guilty of pandering to critics. Good, bad, or indifferent. Tell us how bad we are. So, I mean, in that same regard, while yes, Yelp is kind of is it a necessary evil? Probably.
Yeah, but I think some people should probably have their
degree
Yelp privileges revoked.
Mm-hmm. And maybe like some spell check.
This is something that you and I have discussed a lot over the years.
Ad nauseum.
But if you give a restaurant a 1-star review and then say it was the best food that you ever ate,
you're doing it wrong.
But they didn't have enough stalls in the bathroom.
You're doing it wrong.
That's not right. That's not okay.
Yeah, it's lazy.
You can't say best food 1 star.
Yeah, you really can't. It's still, I think it's at minimum 3. You give them a 3-star review, and you knock them for the restrooms if you think it's necessary.
Yeah,
I rarely ever use the bathroom at a restaurant anyway. I don't care.
But you run into stuff like that all the time, or it'll be 5 stars. Food was okay, but I really liked Sally, my bartender.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Or 5 stars. Didn't try the food, but the cocktails were great. Like, that's not really.
But in some cases,
okay,
you can crack the top 100.
Yelp has named the top 100 restaurants, and Oklahoma City has a couple on the list, and there are a couple more in the state.
Yes.
This is a news story from KFOR.
Mm-hmm. Pretty reputable news source, I think.
I've heard
things.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust them for their weather stuff. Sometimes they're wrong.
And I don't trust any of the Ogle boys.
Yeah, there's too many of them.
Not only that, but they all kind of look alike.
They do.
But not identical, which kind of creeps me out a little bit.
And they're all the same. They're huge.
And they're kind of shifty. I'm just going to say.
Yeah. I don't know about the Ogles. Yeah. But I do know that Yelp, again, sometimes you get it right.
Well, I think just law of averages, it's going to be pretty accurate.
Yeah.
That's why I say that it's a necessary evil. I just don't think that everybody should be allowed to use it.
Okay, so let's give examples of how you should use it. Clearly, these restaurants they're in some pretty tall cotton as far as positive reviews.
Right. So this list, the top 100, is based on suggestions from Yelp users from coast to coast. This year, restaurants from 35 different states and Washington, D.C. made the cut, with cuisines ranging from Afghan to Vietnamese and kind of everything in between.
Yeah, everything in between, yeah.
So the top of the list was Cocina Madrigal, a Mexican eatery in Phoenix, Arizona. They were number 1 on the Yelp review list.
Nice.
Yeah.
If we're ever in Phoenix, we'll have to try them out. But we're never going to leave the state because everything we need is right here.
Number 17 on the list.
What?
Cafe Cacao in Oklahoma City.
I have heard nothing but glowing reviews about Cafe Cacao. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time on Yelp personally, but I will say the Hall's Pizza Kitchen in Oklahoma City, which is number 34 on the entire country list.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of restaurants.
They're bomb. I like them.
So you mentioned the Halls. I know I take my hits for being vegan. Tara works with a guy that is doing the same thing, and he mentioned Halls as being, he's like, if you can't, don't go to these other places and then go to Halls, or go to Halls first and then go to these other places, because it'll never stand up. I just hear glowing reviews, because it's hard to get pizza when you're not eating all the normal stuff.
There are a whole lot of restaurants that didn't make this list but would make my list.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to hear from the listeners on what they consider to be top of the top.
Decentio should be on here. Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, would you say top 100 in the country?
I haven't had a ton of authentic pizza, but it's pretty up there. Jet's Pizza and More is a good one. But yeah, top 100 in the country.
Top 100 restaurants.
Restaurants. There's a lot of restaurants, man.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to come up with the list, and I guess this is an aggregate of people rating restaurants across the country. So it would be real hard to come up with the list for just Oklahoma, but
right.
I would definitely like to see it. But Tulsa made the list a couple of times. East Village Bohemian Pizzeria in Tulsa was 83.
Yeah.
And La Tertulia in Tulsa, number 93.
I will say,
yes,
you don't have to give it up to me publicly. We can talk after the show. I normally give you a hard time for pronunciation. I said, you know what? We're just going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it.
Did I butcher some stuff?
No, because here's the thing. When you try to do it right, they come after you. When you try to do it wrong, they come after you for not trying. So, can we get a review, please?
Yeah, but I think a whole lot of rules should be in place for rating restaurants, that sort of thing, because it is useful in making decisions about what's my top 10 list.
Well, years ago, and I don't know if they still do it or not. A lot of people base what they're going to do off Yelp, because we do the same thing. We'll go, okay, best restaurant and so. The first thing, the minute you ask your phone or Google to say best restaurants in a town or where we're at the time, it gives you the Yelp listings first.
And again, I
think
it's a necessary tool. Yeah. But if I ask for the best restaurant in Bristow, Oklahoma, I'm sorry, Yelp should be burned. Their corporate headquarters should be bricked up, shut down completely. Yeah. When McDonald's is the number one restaurant on the list.
Well, in McDonald's defense, it is the first restaurant you see driving into Bristow, which is the problem with it. But more to the point, people relied on those dining books and like Zaggett's Guides. Mm-hmm. Hell, they did a skit on Saturday Night Live about, did you see that, Hank? Where they talk about best, and it gives the whole vibe of the restaurant, what you could expect, and describes every course of the meal. There's just nothing really like that anymore. And I think a lot of people, you see it a lot on social media where people go, should I see this movie? Just make up your own mind. I just want I don't want to gauge whether or not I go. I go to restaurants based on how many cars are in the parking lot at lunchtime. You know what I mean? Like if the asses are in seats and it's not the only restaurant in town, then something tells you that may be the place to go. When the restaurant down the street has got a guy standing outside with a sign saying, eat me, not me. You know what I mean? Come, you get what I'm saying, though.
You see the restaurant across the street and there's tumbleweed, from an old Western movie.
Yeah.
Rolling by. Yeah.
Where it goes out of its way to roll away from it. It's I don't even want to be associated with that. But you know what I mean? There's just not a real good, maybe there is, or maybe we're missing it. But Yelp right now is the top dog. That's what people use. It's the litmus test for everybody, for everything from food, drink, to where to stay the night.
Well, I will say that there's another way that people can make suggestions or find new places to go.
Jedi mind trick.
In the state of Oklahoma.
No, okay. What is it?
If you're already there, so if you know somebody that wants to find out some cool things to do in the state of Oklahoma,
right,
then you should tell them about the OnlyinOKShow.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Or you could go online and leave a review.
Absolutely.
For our show.
So that somebody comes to it and goes, oh.
Yeah, this sounds like it might be up my alley. Because, Joe Nimrod out of Albuquerque said that this is the best show if you want to know about Oklahoma.
But I've also engaged in a show because somebody said it was controversial or terrible too. So give us a good or bad review.
I think there's no such thing as bad publicity.
There isn't.
Give us a 1, give us a 5. I don't care. You can pick any number in between.
Yes. Or give us $1 or a $5 bill. I'll take that too.
How are they going to give it to you? They're going to track you down at the next polar plunge.
Next year.
Everybody that wants to give money to Brett, save it up.
Yeah.
Come out to Medicine Park.
And then just
during the polar plunge, he'll be wearing some goofy hat and probably an OnlyinOK shirt.
And then just tuck a buck. Tuck a buck.
Yeah. I like it.
Well, if from us to you. No, I'm kidding. Well, this has been the OnlyinOKShow. New episodes every week. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace. You were hoping that the body heats.
No, the body, the combined body heat warmed up the water. Yeah, no, but
God, I would love to see this.
I remember the last time we did it, and it was cold.
Yeah, but
it was stupid cold, but literally, like,
would it be like
so cold I couldn't move?
It's probably what I would imagine. Like, you take a tens machine and just you have it cranked up to the highest thing, and you just hit the button. And you're like,
you know, when we were doing the psychic test with the shocks.
Oh my God! Don't do that to me again.
It was like that was happening to
your core,
to the core of my body.
Yeah,
and I couldn't do anything. Like, it was cold.
So there was, the last time we went, there were people that were lingering in the water, like wee wee, splash, splash, splash.
There were 2 people that stayed in the water.
Mm-hmm.
The dude
never came out again.
Santa Claus guy,
because it got to
109-year-old dude that just shows everybody up.
Yeah,
and then some dude in a Viking hat. That was it. I mean,
were there any like not scantily clad, but like what was the average like dress apparel, costume, stuff like that?
There were a lot of costumes, but there were also a lot of bathing suits.
It's like Speedo action.
Yeah.
Nah, because I think of that episode of Seinfeld where George gets out of the pool. The water's cold. Water's cold.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it was
brutal.
It had to be 10 or 15 degrees colder than the time we went before.
I mean, the week before, was all the ice gone by this point?
Yes.
Okay.
There was no ice, and it wasn't a cold day.
Yeah.
So I thought, that's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Dude, that water hit hard.
But is that that's not a natural spring. Where does it come from?
The mountain.
So it's cold coming off the mountain anyway. So
yeah.
Which, what would you say the average temperature would be on an April afternoon?
The air temperature or the water temperature?
Water temperature.
Ooh, God, I bet you it's
still pretty chilly.
Yeah, it's got to be in the 40s, low 40s.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's not, at least if it's chilly in like the summer or the spring of the summer, you can get out and then kind of warm up in the sun. This time of year, there's not really any.
Oh yeah, no, I was cold. Like literally, I was cold the next day.
Right. Did you guys do anything else while you were there?
We ate at an old plantation.
Yeah.
We walked around, looked at all the new stuff that they're doing down there.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of stuff in the works and a lot of new stuff that I didn't see the last time I walked through.
Well, there's a tattoo shop there now. There's a Nice Ice Baby. I think it's like a bar. The trading post where all the Mergellian stuff used to be, that where the tattoo shop was a little art. Remember, it was an art museum at the time. So I don't know if that's what moved down to the little trading post.
No, I think the trading post has been there all along.
It's just something different.
Yeah,
something different.
There was
that's
an art gallery down there. They have a little bookstore, like an adventure bookstore.
Dude, they got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're coming in not across the bridge,
they have a spa.
Really? Yeah, I heard something that if you don't come in off the bridge and you take like where it's Medicine Park, where you kind of drive the back way, lots of cabins back there, tons of cabins to rent up on the hill, down the hill, and Kelly, our friend at Redbone, she does a lot of maintenance. Like she helps clean and get them ready and kind of runs.
Oh yeah,
a lot of that too. But they've got a little curiosity shop that's got. I don't know, it's like a little knick-knack paddywhack shop with all kinds of books and yada yada right next to the... Of course, there's going to be a dispensary down there.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
But, yeah.
But they have a lot of neat stuff that's, like the events and stuff. The calendar of events is crazy.
It's loaded.
But then there are a lot of, like, one-off hiking, foraging... yoga, meditation, all sorts of stuff like that.
But let's be realistic about Medicine Park. It's legitimately, and maybe we're partial to it because we've been to Medicine Park a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of magic to it. There's just something about it's just, and especially in recent years now that they're kind of populating the area and it's not just like you're knocking on the door going, anybody here? And it's a restaurant.
Right.
It just kind of has there's a lot of an energy, man. Yeah. And when I was talking to Kelly about that, we talked about how it's just a special kind of place. And I'll compare it to another place. It's kind of like that. A lot like that. I'm going to say Eureka Springs. Like they even have similar stories in terms of, in a lot of those communities that are built around the water source, and because it has, a lot of them share the same origin story, and they have a lot of the same crime stories. Organized crime used to run Medicine Park. That's not a rumor. I mean, back in the heyday of the mafia, they would set up camp in small towns all across the country because it was easier to move money. It was easier to move from one place to another without being, because because news didn't travel like it does now. It may take two weeks for them to say so-and-so was in such and such, and by then they're already gone. That's why it took so long for them to catch Bonnie and Clyde, is because the news couldn't catch up. There was no social media.
Now the news comes out, and 12 seconds later, there's a conspiracy page set up about that news story, and there's another conspiracy page set up about the conspiracy page on the news story.
And there's an angle. Somebody's got an angle shot video from everything that happens right now.
Right.
But yeah, Medicine Park. We were talking about it earlier. That's really a place that would be nice to just have for me, I thought about a camper at one time, but honestly, I'd like to just have a little place to go, and just a home away from home that just was in one spot that I like to be in, that kind of feeds my soul. You got the mountain. Dude, when you come out from the cabin in the morning and you're looking out, and Mount Scott's right there. Mm-hmm. I don't care what anybody says around the country. They go, that's not a mountain. Well, in my edge of the woods, it's a damn mountain. It's what I grew up with, man. How many times have you been up the top of that thing?
Oh.
Too many.
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, the parallel forest, a lot of Area X. There's a lot of really cool lore and spooktacular stuff that happens around there, man. It's just a cool place to be, and it's not that far.
It's not. Yeah, I agree 100%.
From my house, it's 49 minutes.
Yeah.
Not bad. What's it from yours? 35?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, there's plenty to do. I think that's what happens with towns like Medicine Park. You go down, you go, okay, we saw that. Now what? And it's like you're missing. Do you not see that?
Right. Just take a look around. What do we do now? Like stop?
Yeah. Because literally you drive into the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Reserve. There's a road that goes this way. There's a road that goes, pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like you're going to drive off the edge of the earth, and you're not that far from civilization. That's our home. Okay, got you.
I'll just read it.
Got you, bud. All right.
And you'll chime in.
As always, with some smart-ass remark.
Oh, yeah, it's the Tealbrod. Tealbrod.com.
Teal broads. The only broad I'll have is a teal broad. Beautiful. Beautiful.
B-E-A-U.
Beautiful.
Okay, roll.
It says beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
I cannot process beautiful. What if I was a Robert? It's like, what if I was a Robert? Imagine how different the movie would have been if it had been Robert. Now think for a minute how different it'd have been if it had been Robert. Or how about that movie with Robin Williams, that robot movie, if it's just called Roberts, directed by Robert Zemeckis?
Roberts aren't people. Like, what do you mean Roberts aren't people?
That ain't a Terminator, that's a Terriminator. Huh?
They may have blood flowing through their bodies, but Roberts aren't people.
They aren't people. Hey, Bobby, I prefer Robert.
See what I mean?
You will call me Robert. Hey, Bobby, give me a beer. Robert does not get beers. Bobby.
I'm now programmed.
Bobby.
For domestic use. I'm a military Robert.
Military Robert. Major Robert.
Okay, that's stupid.
All right. It's stupid. I don't even know why we play sentence. I don't know why we said it. Wouldn't that be funny? Another thing would be funny.
Hello and welcome to the OnlyinOKShow, the only Oklahoma podcast from across the pond.
Hold on. There is an Oklahoma podcast with a Scottish guy.
Does he like, welcome to Oklahoma?
No, I think that's Shrek.
You bastards! Have you been to Edmund?
Please do that.
It's the OnlyinOKShow. We travelled 500 miles to be the best podcast on the bloody internet.
Oh my god, I'm pissing myself over here.
You can kiss our arse.
All right.
Please intro the show like that.
I can't.
Please, for the love of God, just one time. Oh my god.
I'll try it. All right, 3, 2, 1.
You can't 3, 2, 1 in your Brett voice.
3, 2, 1. 1.
Because if you 3, 2, 1 in your Brett voice, it does not translate.
3, 2, 1. Okay, Scotty, get it together. That's racist.
All right.
I'm vegan and I'm Scottish.
Which means you're starving.
I'm fucking starving to death. I need meat.
All right.
3, 2.
I really want you to do it, but I don't know if I can handle it.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
Oh my god, I don't know if I can handle it. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Look at the size. Look at the size of his head. The Pantara.
All right.
You gotta say the word.
No, you go.
3, 2, 1.
No, you don't say 1. You just throw it to me.
You do say 1 because the show has literally ended 157,000 times with the countdown from 3, 2, and 1.
All right, man. Look, I'm freaking Jeff Healy.
3.
I'm Jeff Healy, and this is the OnlyinOKShow, man.
Remember,
Yes.
only 80s kids would get who Jeff Healy is.
Roundhouse.
Roadhouse.
Roundhouse.
If you liked Roadhouse,
You're
you'll
gonna
love
Roundhouse.
Fun fact, not a single roundhouse kick was thrown in the movie Roundhouse.
I don't know. I feel like there probably was.
All right, ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the OnlyinOKShow. Today, we're going on a trip down the Illinois River. Flashbacks to me drowning and for breaking again.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Ready? 3, 2,
You can't do
1.
it.
I
You
can.
literally cannot.
I can.
No, you just you can do your weird little tick things, and you can't do anything serious.
I can't do anything seriously.
No,
I can't. You don't think I can? You don't believe me? I'm working fucking hard here, laddie. Are you ready?
Who are you doing right now? You're
don't
doing
know.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, come on. No, I'm not. You little nose miner.
You are.
Oh, goodness me. Would you like some tea?
Okay.
1 lump or 2? Help is on the way. Welcome to the OnlyinOKShow.
It was the drive-by fruiting.
Dude, tell me now, not one of the best movies ever.
That was probably one of the best.
It's a
movies.
drive-by fruiting. I do voices.
It's great.
Great, you creet. You creet?
Didn't he call him a Crete? And so I married him.
You creet?
Didn't Grandpa call somebody?
No,
I get it wrong.
I don't know.
Let's just do it normal and get this god thing off the road, man.
Please do.
Okay? Got it, man. You know?
Can you stop making random noises?
Can you
that I gotta
leave
pull
me
out?
the alone, man? You know? I pay a lot of money to have myself censored by myself, you piece of... And I'm not you, all right?
3,
2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we're going down a trip down the Illinois River, down a trip.
We're gonna go down the thing
We're
and
going
do
to do
tripping
the
down.
thingamajigger. We're going to do the thingamajigger while we pull on our 3, 2, 1.